WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something from St. Kilian. You've seen these bottles maybe on my channel before. It's a German distillery. It's a German distillery I've done a few things with. I've had blogger and vlogger meetups there 3 times already where we had between 30 and 40 people join. 2 of them were actually in person. 1 was actually online. I have 3 casks that I've bought from them that I did cask shares with, 30-liter casks, and I personally like the guys down there. So I know the owner, Andreas Tümler. I know the master distiller, Mario Rudolph. That's his signature and his name there. And they're doing some pretty cool stuff there. So they have 2 4-sides copper stills. They have Oregon pine, pitch pine washbacks. They have a great mash tun. They have wonderful technology set up there. And they have over 88 different types of casks. So big casks, little casks, different sherry types, and so on. That number 88 doesn't seem right. It seems to be 188 or 288 or something like that. So they have a whole lot of different things they're still trying out. And one of those is this. This is a hand fill. Now, I bought this at the distillery when I was down there. I could not fill it myself due to COVID restrictions, so the hand fills were filled for us. And it's 0.5 liters, yes, and it's 69.99 euros. It was distilled on the 19th of July 2017. It was bottled on the 14th of August 2021. Therefore, it's 4 years old. Cask number 128256.1% and Whiskybase number 189915. What am I going to compare it to? I'm going to compare it to this. I don't know if you can see this or not, but this says WhiskyJason and Friends. So this is my cask that I picked up there in July. So I was at the distillery, and what we did last time I was there, I was actually able to fill the casks up ourselves. This time they were filled for us, the bottles. So unfortunately, but I did get to carry the cask for a moment. I'll try to put that picture in here right now. It was empty. All right, so I'm not that. So it's only 30-liter cask, so it would have been another 30 kilos. Or another 60 pounds basically if it had been filled. So this is Amarone. This is basically the same thing. It's only 3 years old. It was distilled on the 25th of July 2018. It was bottled on the 2nd of August 2021, and it's 55.7. There was a total of 54 bottles here from my 30-liter cask. Here, there is no mention of the amount of bottles, unfortunately. So they have a peated and unpeated recipe. My plan is the first time it was stored, the Amarone, for 3 years, and now the next one should be about 4 years, and the final one will be the peated recipe for 5 years. So I have a 12-year plan for my whiskey casks. I had a virgin oak. I still have it. It's been refilled. The Amarone is being refilled now, and I also have a rum cask, which will be ready, I think, next year. And then that whole system starts again. Very, very nice. So from the color here, the Pedro Jimenez is a little bit darker than the Amarone. All right, so 69 euros. Basically, I also sold this for 69 euros. Since it was my cask and since everything was there, I basically got them for like 49. So I got a lot of more casks out of it or a lot more bottles out of it than originally planned. I had planned to have 48 bottles. I got a total of 54, so 6 extra bottles. We had a total of 12 people doing the cask share, and you can't divide that you can't divide a bottle by 2. So what I did is I have a charity organization I'm going to support. It's called Kinderherzen. It's a friend of mine, the whiskey waiter, Manuel. He actually devoted a whole weekend to a charity action, a charity fundraiser. And what I did is the proceeds from those 6 bottles I donated. I will donate. 5 of the 6 have been sold. I will actually transfer the money soon to that organization. Yay. All right, very, very good. So we're not going to talk that much about my bottle. We're going to talk more about this bottle, but I thought it was kind of interesting to mention some of the things that are going on here. So if you have a distillery close by, either in Ireland, Scotland, Australia, Germany, America, wherever you are, contact them. Talk with them. Go by. Visit them. Go by. Visit again. Ask about a cask program. Ask about hand fills. Ask about maybe doing a tasting there. One of the best things that you can do at this place is a warehouse tasting. You have all the casks around you. You have cask strength tasting evening with a wonderful buffet. Mwah. It's just one of those evenings you will not forget. And if you can do that at your local distillery, if you have anyone close by, try to do that. And book a hotel close by. The very interesting thing, they are in Rüdenau in Germany. That's about an hour south of Frankfurt. And there's one tiny hotel within walking distance of the distillery. So if you ever do a tasting, you book your hotel and you sleep the night. You have a wonderful breakfast. It's a butcher's slash hotel above the butcher's place shop. They actually have a hotel above there with, I think, 12 or 13 different rooms. And so you get this beautiful, beautiful meat platter in the morning, self-made cold cuts and so on, self-made other delicacies. Wonderful, wonderful thing to do. And I'm sure they would, they're expanding into the international markets more and more, Asia as well as UK as well as Europe. So maybe they might start doing things in English as well. Who knows? All right. So the Pedro Jimenez, the ex-sherry PX. Now I really like this. This has a grape jam moment with nougat. Like that chocolate, that soft chocolate nougat. I get a little bit of the raisins in there. I get a creaminess. I know you're not supposed to get a creaminess in your nose, but I get it anyways. Beautiful. All right, cheers. Now this is 4 years old, and this is 56.1%. I could drink this like this all evening. Very, very nice. Now the Pedro Jimenez, even though it is full maturation, it doesn't cover up everything. There is still the distiller character coming through. Some of those green apples, some of those pears, some of that wood is still there. There's a nice type of tannins with not being too much. But there is that Pedro Jimenez, this sherry moment that is defining without overwhelming. Ooh, wonderfully said. This is some good stuff. This is a B- whiskey in my book. Now, my problem is hand fills are usually available for about 4 to 6 weeks at the distillery. Then they open up the next cask, sell that, and what they do is they have very, very many different hand fills. So I probably won't be able to get this again. Well, it's about 3 weeks ago I was there, so maybe there might be a few left, but then in 6 months from now, nope, all gone. There'll be something else, and there'll be something else, and there'll be something else. And they've done over, as I said, over 88. I have that number stuck in my head, different types of casks. What I would really like to do is that I would actually have from St. Kilian all about 4 years, all about 55, 56%, all the different types of sherries. Fino sherry, Mazzanilla sherry, Montiriado sherry, Palo Catado, Oloroso, Moscatel, and a PX. Wouldn't it be fantastic to have all 7 sherries there and just do like a blind tasting? Now, I did something very similar in Germany already. I took Glencadam 10. I poured those 7 different types of sherries in there, let it set for about a month, mingle, and then I sent them out, and we did actually a tasting comparison. I had the sherry, and I had the whiskey with the sherry taste in there with the sherry influence. So we compared those. It was fascinating. I learned a lot, but wouldn't it be great to have a full maturation? Let's see if I can do that one day. All right, that'd be fantastic. Good. Value for money. This is one of those things, I'm calling it my souvenir. I was at the distillery. We picked up the 54 bottles. I think we actually had 30 bottles were people there, and the other 24 I took home with me. Most of them belonged to me. The other ones I sent out, and so on. And so, yeah, that was kind of cool. Now, this is 70 euros. That's 140 euros per liter. That's basically about the price of Glendronach 18 at the moment. Is that worth it? No. Is it worth it as a souvenir? Yes. All right. So taking a sip of my Amarone real quick. I like, but it's my whiskey. I just looked at the list, picked it out, and so on. It wasn't something that I created myself. I just wanted something with Amarone. The red wine is there, but on top of that, there's a honey. On top of that, there's a sawdust type of moment with the tannins and with the wood. And on top of that is almost like a little bit of a grape type of cough syrup. This is better. I like this much better than this. Is it good? Is it great? No. Is it unique? Yes. Is it something with my name on it? Yes. So therefore, I thoroughly enjoy it. I will like it and I will enjoy it. But with water, it gets a little bit better. Same thing here. Put a little bit of water in there, enjoy it, and don't be afraid of taking whiskey down from 56 down to 50% or down to 43, whatever you want. Go down to 33 if you want, for all I care. Drink the whiskey the way you want it. Syrup, creamy. That raisin sweetness is much, much more evident here. Of course, Pedro Jimenez versus the Amarone. All right, so thank you very much. My question of the day is, what distillery do you have close by? And what distillery have you visited? Just write down, hey, I was in Richmond, Virginia. That's where I grew up. I visited Reservoir Distillers, and it was great because blah, 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 blah. Or I'm in Melbourne, Australia. I went to Star Wars. It was great because blah, blah, blah. Or I was in Germany in Rudenau and visited St. Kilian. It was great because the people there are so welcoming, and it was just great fun to actually do the tour, pick up the bottles from your cask, touch the cask, carry the cask, and then have that expectations of being filled up and waiting the next 4 years before you can drink the next drop from your own cask. Ooh, isn't that exciting? All right, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, tell others, and see you soon here. WhiskyJason, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Bye-bye.